You're watching Let the Quran Speak. Now we answer questions we've received from you, our viewers. If you have a question yourself, please visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com. Okay, Brother Shabir, this is a question about anger. So the question is, I know that the Prophet warned us against anger. To my knowledge, he suggested for us to control and avoid anger. But in the Quran, we have verses mentioning God having anger. How should we view anger in Islam? Why is it a trait that God can possess, but not human beings, I guess, is the implication.
Well, not only God can possess that or resort to that, but human beings as well. But the idea is to distinguish between controllable and uncontrollable anger. Now, to be sure, there is a case where a man asked the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for advice, according to one report, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, said to him, La taghdab, do not become angry. And the man asked again and again, advise me some more, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, kept saying to him, and do not become angry.
Which suggests that you shouldn't, it's a very strong imperative not to.
Yes, if you take that as a blanket generalization for all people, then that would be the emerging teaching. But it is more likely that this was the teaching specific for this particular man. Maybe he had a particular problem and that needed if he was totally angry or uncontrollably so, then the Prophet, peace be upon him, was swinging the pendulum for him at the other extreme. And eventually he might fall in between at some reasonable medium. There are many cases where the Prophet, peace be upon him, gave instructions which are specific for the individuals, and these instructions should not be generalized to all people. But what is more generalizable is the advice that the Prophet, peace be upon him, gave when he said that if you are angry, then you should sit down, and if you're still angry, then you should lie down. So you are trying to go more into a situation of repose so that you can control the anger and let it subside. And the anger, of course, sometimes makes people feel warm. He said, make wudu, the ablutions that we do before prayer, because that will cool down the anger. So in this sort of more general teaching, the instruction is not that you should not feel angry at all, but that you should be able to control the anger that you do feel.
So when is anger justified then?
Well, Muslim scholars have discussed this, and they said that in fact some anger is good because anger actually motivates you to action. Sometimes you read something in the news and you see that there is an injustice being carried on and some injustice going on, and you feel angry about it. You feel, I really want to do something to change that. Well, that anger that motivates you to good action is actually good. And this could be used in a variety of situations. Sometimes it is proper to show anger even without actually feeling angry.
When is that the case?
For example, a parent may show some anger, but of course in a reasonable degree.
I guess you mean displeasure or something
displeasure to let children know that certain actions are not acceptable. A manager may walk through a room and display anger, and not like some managers do, like tossing things about and so on, not in that frightening manner. But if the manager runs through the floor and says, wait a minute, something is wrong here, the production is not up to standard, what's going on? Well, that will get people motivated to look at their actions and make sure that they're not whiling away their time, and that their production can actually be up to a reasonable level.
So the questioner was asking about God displaying anger. So I want to ask you about that. Where does God display anger in the Quran, and in what circumstance?
Well, in several passages of the Quran, we hear about God, or we read about God being displeased with certain individuals and certain actions, that God is even angry with them. And in a hadith, it is mentioned that giving charity appeases the wrath of God. In the Bible, of course, as well, we hear much about the wrath of God. And this is considered to be natural, that God, to guide us in the right way, is telling us about the things which displease him to the extent of even causing his anger.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Brother Shabir.
You're welcome.
And we'd like to hear from you. Visit our website, www.quranspeaks.com, and check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/QuranSpeaks. As always, please continue to write to us. Your comments and questions help guide the show. I'm Safiya Ali. For all of us here at Let the Quran Speak, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.